Customize them further. So to get started, you want to go into the settings, which I am at right now. And from here, scroll down to Convenience Aid. And you should find Navigation Keys. And by default, it's set to, well, the keys itself. From here, you can also choose the Google standard ones, which is, will basically change it to having this little pill bar and then a back button. With the pill bar, just swipes up to go into recent, swipe to the sides to basically change the apps, and, well, back button. But that's kind of boring. So up here you have a couple additional options. You have the gestures like this one with the back button. So you would swipe up to close like this and swipe from the sides, which doesn't actually work at the moment. So swipe like that till you see the little arrow on the side, and it works from both sides, as you can see, as long as I think you just don't pull it too far. If you pull it further, it opens up a different app. So it allows you to switch between apps if you pull it actually further even. So it's kind of like the pill bar if you slide it sideways, but it just allows you to do it by sliding further here. And let's go back to the settings right here, and let's go back into, where was it, right here. And you also have the typical kind of like Samsung kind of way, maybe not necessarily. It basically, you have the swipe up to go to recent with 1 second delay, as you can see on the image. Quick swipe up to close if it will actually work. And then just swipe from the sides to go back, so kind of like this. Now this is not necessarily the best one. I'm personally not a fan of these because you still feel like you have the buttons underneath. They work kind of similarly. So I would advise to choose the one with the swipe sides. That is, in my opinion, just way better. And it feels really natural when you're using it once you get used to it. Okay, so moving on, I'm gonna go into the split screen option, which will allow you to just multitask in a way. But there's also another great way of using it is with YouTube. So as you know, when you launch YouTube and you're trying to listen to some music, let me just mute it. So when you're trying to listen to some music, let's assume this is music, but come on, ad, no one wants you. Oh, come on, seriously, 2 ads? There we go. So once you have the song playing, as you can see, which it is by the time that it's passing, if you close it, well, not close it, like so, well, the song always gets paused. The same thing if you lock the device. Now, it will not change with the locking, it will still pause it, but what it will allow you to do is, let's go into recent. So you can see that there is a recent one, tap on the bars right here, split screen, and now you can actually tap on it to view it. It will rebuffer. Okay, there it is, it's playing now. So we can also resize it, hopefully. Wait, now I have to find an app that I want to open. Okay, so even though it's right now minimized in a way so I can open a different app, it's still playing. So just open up, for instance, Chrome. And you can see there is Chrome and the video is still playing. You can also resize it to have more real estate on your browser. And actually I didn't open the browser, I opened just the Google app. But as you can see, there's a separate app that is running in the, right here, and I can interact with it and the music would continue to play, as you can see. And if you want to close it, all you need to do is just drag it all the way down, and then it becomes just normal app and you can quit it, like so. And you can also, as you've seen previously, if you launch it in split screen view, just give me split screen view. You can just, not really what I wanted to do. Let me just redo that. Okay, there it is actually. It's still open. So you can still have your normal screen here and do whatever you want while trying not to click any app, which I constantly am by mistake. but you did see that it goes up in there. It's completely out of the way while it's still playing. It's just a nice way of multitasking and having your music playing. You also have like two different things as you've seen right here. So you have two options once you minimize it: exit split screen and back to split screen. So I guess you would have to normally tap it once it's actually visible. Or did it already exit? Okay, so it looks like it already exit by tapping on it. So just a easy way of navigating and split screening apps, just so we can multitask. Now moving on, this probably will be a little bit more useful for parents, considering the tweak is called Kidspace. But what it allows you to do is designate specific apps. So for instance, your kid can use them without actually being able to remove them and change any settings on your device. It basically creates a child-proof space on your device where it only has access to these specific designated apps. So for instance, games. And to do it, you go into the settings and then let's see, I think it was called it was in security and it was called child space or Kidspace, something like that. Okay, there it is, Kidspace. So as you can see, you can tap on it, and you also have a couple options. So you can see duration allowed each time. So when you allow it, which you basically enable it, and then for the designated time that you choose here, the space will be allowed. So after that time, the device will lock, and the child will basically boot it out of the whatever they were doing. And you will need to confirm it with a pattern or password, whatever it is, to re-enable it if you want to extend the time. Now, to actually enable it, you will have to add a app. So tap right here, allow apps, and choose whatever apps you want to add. As an example, I already added YouTube. So all you need to do is just flip it like so. And you can go back. And from here, tap on enter Kidspace, and it opens this up. So as you can see, there's nothing on here. You can't really change anything. You only have access to this one specific app that I have enabled and nothing else. And if you try to leave this mode to go back to normal, you will be confronted with the lock screen, like so. So you will need to unlock your device before it goes back to the normal mode. And you don't actually need to go through these settings to enable it. There's actually a toggle that you can add here. So once you go back, once you pull out the notification panel, you have these little lines with the arrow down. When you tap on it, it extends it, and you can drag over Kidspace icon, which is right here, over here, drop it, tap on done, and now you can see that it's right here. You just simply tap on it, it immediately enters Kidspace, where again you have to confirm pattern to exit it. So just a little handy thing if you don't want your phone having different languages and all kinds of messed up stuff, just because you know as children like to change all the settings possible by complete mistake. So moving on, I'm gonna touch on the home screen and the layout, as also with the app drawer. So by default here you have the app drawer, but you can also change it to the similar to iOS style, with all the icons being on your home screen. So you'd have just pages and there won't be any app drawer. And also how many icons can fit. So to do it, you'd go into the settings again, and then home screen wallpaper. And here's the home screen mode, which is for the standard or the app drawer. So choose whichever one you like. By default, like I said, is the drawer mode. And also right here have screen layout, which you can choose to have more apps. Now, before I actually change it, I want to kind of leave this. So pay attention, there's 4 apps right here. And apps, right, how they look right here. Now, if I were to go back into the settings and go back here, and change it to the 5x6, and I go back home, you'll see that there's 2 additional spaces where previously it was just 4 icons in a line. So now we can fit more because of that 1 additional row. And also there's more space in here, I think, or maybe not, maybe I'm actually mistaken. I don't think there is more space. But here you can obviously see that there is way more space for the icons. It shrinks them a little bit and adds additional space. So if you like that, you can always activate it. And moving on to the last thing that I wanted to show is the app lock, which I think the best use for it would be for a music app, for instance. So when you're listening to music and you have the app open and running in the background, and you have the tendency, for instance, to go into recent and just kill all the apps, well, and then it will kill the music app as well, along with whatever you were listening to. Now I already have it enabled. If it's still even running, I'm not sure. Okay, it doesn't actually. But you can see this app was actually locked for some reason, which I didn't actually lock it. So yeah, Facebook thumbs up, not really. So let's launch music, for instance, as the example. And as you are aware, if you go into recent and close it, it will just be closed, right? As normally that's what happens. But if you go into recent, tap right here, you have the lock button, and now you can see next to the name of the app, there's a little lock. And if you try to clear apps right now, so let's just tap on clear, you can see that it didn't actually close the app. It's still in the background because it's locked, and clearing the apps doesn't actually affect the locked app. So you could lock as many apps as you want, so they will never basically be trashed whenever you're trying to clear your background apps, and they will continue to be open. But this is in my, I just gave up a nice use of this. Now, whatever you choose to lock, it's completely up to you. This is not really what you should or supposed to lock. It's just kind of like an example and a good, what I would consider to be a good use for it. But yeah, this would conclude all the tweaks and tricks that I want to share. And if you found any of them helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.